Hello guys, it is Ital Sunny, and today I'm going to be answering some questions that have been asked over time, and some that I just figured I'd answer in a video anyway. So without further ado, let's begin. The first question is, how long have you been drawing? And while I don't remember exactly, I can give you a frame of reference. I do remember being very interested in cartoons and animation around 2014, and at that time I would have been 8 years old. I also know that the very first picture of my art that was ever uploaded to the internet was of Toy Freddy from FNAF 2. So, yeah, around 7 years ago. And I also remember doing a bunch of art projects at my school, so it could be earlier because you don't start school as a kindergartner until you're like 6 years old. So, it could be more, it could be less, but I think 7 years is a fair number. The next question is, what is your favorite drawing you ever made? Which is a very tough question to answer because I've made at least 1,000 drawings over all of the years that I've been doing art, and it's hard to pick just one that stands out. I might like one drawing because it's cute, or I might like one drawing because I think it's funny or the colors are nice, so it's very hard for me to just find one that I think is the best, especially among my own work because I can see the flaws, but I also have a personal connection to them. That being said, here are the two that I picked. This drawing has a bunch of personal meaning to me, especially because of the OC who's featured in it, but without going into too many details, I'm just going to say that he's important. And just seeing him with a simple little ice cream cone and being all cute and simple, this drawing, all it is just cute and simple, and I love it for that. And also, like I said, the OC is a huge factor too, so it's one of my favorites. And then my other favorite drawing, because I picked two, I think it's this one, because it's genuinely one of the best pieces of fan art I've ever made, while having it showcase a huge amount of my skill, and I love it for that. If you don't know, it is fan art of the Walton Files, which the Walton Files is just, a series of horror tapes loosely based on FNAF. And regardless of whether you know the Walton Files or not, I think you can find something to appreciate about this, or at least one positive to it. The colors are nice, the overlays are nice, the texture, unbelievable, and I also use this picture as my lock screen. So, yeah. Enough of ranting about this picture though, let's move on to the next question. And then the next question is, what is your least favorite drawing? Once again, it is very hard to answer this question for the reasons that I already stated. Now, even though I used to make low-quality, edgy MS Paint art when I was a 10-year-old, I still think that some of the drawings that make me the angriest are the ones that I made in 2020. Now, to be fair, 2020 wasn't completely bad, and there were quite a few bangers in there. However, just compared to now and how much I've improved since then, my old style just annoys the heck out of me and I can't stand looking at some of them. I think the worst offenders are the videos where I transform my MS Paint drawings into my modern style, which was modern at the time, but obviously is outdated now. And while there were quite a few good drawings that I think hold up to this day, there is one specific offender that I must point out, and I don't think I can defend it. I genuinely think this one is my worst drawing. Let me explain. This is the piece of art I made after looking at one of my old MS Paint drawings, and I honestly hate this one so much because it barely does anything with the old material except be like, oh hey look, a bust of an old OC, and it has horrible thick black outlines, ooh. And I think what makes it worse is that the tool I used at the time had so much different settings than it was supposed to, so there wasn't even like any line variation, it was just completely stabilized. And I remember that in 2020 I did have problem with, pen sensitivity, but I've gotten over that now, and looking back at my old drawings that are just boring, I just hate them. Especially when I think that the MS Paint drawing had way more life than the newer one. Actually, I made a video yesterday addressing a similar problem with my 2020 art, but that time I was addressing more of the design than anything else. But still, I digress. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, what inspired you to become an artist? This is a very important and very big question to ask, so this will be the final one of the video I will answer. I think a good chunk of it has to do with my childhood and who I grew up around. You see, my dad is a huge nerd and he loved DC and Marvel comics along with video games. My brother also loved video games, but he was also a huge anime fan too. And all of those things require a huge amount of creatively driven effort. And because of all of those influences, along with my own hobbies of liking Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, it was only a matter of time before Kid Me decided that I wanted to do it too and took a pencil to a paper. But I think the biggest things that pushed me to digital art was FNAF and Pokemon. The first drawing I ever uploaded anywhere on the internet was of Toy Freddy from FNAF 2. And I also did a heck ton of Pokemon stuff, which were mainly either Pokemon poorly edited MS Paint drawings but as a different type, or my own fan-made drawings of Pokemon fusions. And then moving on to the things that inspired me to become an artist YouTuber, I think the biggest 3 influences were probably Lavender Town, Stampy Longnose, and Delightful. Now, one of these things is not like another, and it's Stampy Longnose. The thing is that I grew up watching Stampy Longnose. He was the first YouTuber I think I ever really got attached to, and I still really love his voice to this day. He's just so important to me, and I've actually drawn him twice on this channel. But yeah, as a kid, I just always thought, it's so cool that Stampy is doing this, maybe I could do it too. So separately from my drawing hobbies, I already kind of wanted to be a YouTuber if I could. And then seeing Delightful and Lavender Town, I thought maybe I could be an art YouTuber, and now I am. So yeah, those YouTubers are very precious to me. I know Delightful works more in customization of dolls, but regardless, her doll creations are still very inspiring, and Lavender Town is an OG of the artist community. She just draws so many ideas, gives out such great advice, and has so many interesting character designs. And yeah, that was it for all of today's questions. I hope you guys liked this video, and had a good morning, day, night, whatever time it is when you're watching this, and just have a good time. If you have any more questions for me, I'll probably answer them in the comments if you let me know. So, without further ado, goodbye, and I'll see you guys later.